we're going to have the moon entering Capricorn. So when that moon goes into the Capricorn, it hates being here. It's pretty much deteriorated here. Feel me? Look at it like this. You are the moon. You love to expand. You love to grow. You got to do what you got to do. But when you have put yourself into experiences of realizing that you age and you got to leave the body, that means you took on a whole lot of experiences. And now you basically fully developed yourself and put yourself into a position in where you are now grown, adult. So now you're grown up. Now you got to experience life for what it truly is. Now you got to go out there in the world and do what you got to do. Maintain your status, your goals, and of course your career and your business. You came out your mom's box. Now you got to put yourself into a position where, now we got to take responsibilities and commitments very serious. We're also going to have the sun in Leo, moon in Capricorn. So we're going to be experiencing our ways of expressing misunderstood, alienated issues. Also, we got the sun in Leo. Also, we got Pluto in Capricorn. So there's going to be some power and control issues tomorrow, too. Also, you can die tomorrow, too. Just letting you know that. They're also going to be playing the death card on your ass. So wherever you have Pluto at, wherever you have Capricorn at, actually, you need to take power and control in these areas. Feel me? You may not have Pluto and Capricorn, but wherever you have Capricorn at in your charts, you need to take full power and control over these areas, or else you're going to experience the utmost expiration dates, predications in these aspects, and you don't want to allow anything to basically get into your space, because you may have to rebel and get very serious. Not only do we got this shit here, we're going to be having this shit all around. So of course you got to be aware of your 360 and how you angle move around as a virtue. So now where this is at, you need to put focus, attention, and of course look at the details when it comes to taking power and control over these areas and these aspects. We're going to run down the houses. Now, if you have Capricorn in the first house, you're going to be basically going through focus. You need to focus on your personality. And you need to take power and control over your personality and your personal issues. You're going to put yourself into a position of thinking about the setbacks and the past experiences that you basically developed with family or personal interests or personal people, places, and things. Do not allow these things to basically reflect you. Learn how to transform that shit and take power and control over your personality, or else you're going to experience the different side of things, which is the bad experience, the bad transformation. You want good transformations. You want to basically be able to control your personality and not allow anything or anyone else to control this area. Now, if you can play out an equilibrium balance scale, have balance and equilibrium in these areas, you'll be right. But you can pretty much overindulge into that area too. So try to have equilibrium and balance in this perspective. But you're going to be learning how to basically take power and control over your experiences. You're going to be basically dealing with some past issues too. So be aware of these things. Now, if you have Capricorn in the second house, you're basically going to be experiencing a gift to take power and control and focus on the things that you're valuing, the things that you're giving attention to, and of course, the experiences that you're going to be basically inheriting. You can put yourself into a position of getting too lazy into this area and allowing others to basically walk around you, take advantage of you. And of course, you're going to have all the goods, all the virtues, of course, all the golds and all the treasures. You're going to get lazy in these areas. You're going to give yourself too much to others. And of course, you're not going to have time to basically put yourself into a better environment if you overindulge. Feel me? Now you're going to experience some transformation in the things that you're valuing or the resources that you have, because you basically overindulge into this perspective and you have too much equilibrium and balance. That's planting bad seeds. Now, if you plant good seeds, you're going to experience an equilibrium and balance where you can basically try to keep things hidden and not express too much of yourself and be too much out there when it comes to your stability and your practicality and the way that you're valuing your world. Now, if you have Capricorn in the third house, you're basically going to be experiencing, let me get this right. If you have Capricorn in the third house, you're going to be experiencing focusing on your surroundings, people, places, and things that's in your surroundings, and of course, taking power and control in your environment. Now, you may put yourself into a position where you're focusing too much on external references, too many people, places, and things, and you're going to put yourself into a box as to where you're not going to basically withstand your own presence in your own surroundings. If you don't have yourself together, then you're not going to basically go to cahoots when you're in your surroundings with other individuals, which means you won't have no control over what you're going through in your surroundings. You can get transformed in your surroundings. Probably being at the wrong place, wrong time, having the wrong conversation, which things will not even basically go into your perspective. Now, you need to take power and control in your surroundings, or you're going to experience someone else taking power and control in your surroundings. You don't basically need these shits to basically be happening. So you need to voice your opinions. And of course, you need to work on yourself, feel me? Because you may be lacking skills and you may be lacking in certain areas. So try not to do that shit. And you'll be at. Now, if you have Capricorn in the 4th house, you're going to be basically having a full moon experience when it comes to your privacies, your home, your family. You're going to be basically going through some expiration dates, some transformation, or some issues that need to basically be resolved in these areas. And you can basically go to the extremes in these areas too. When it comes to loving, having privacy, and dealing with family, and dealing with the family roots. Try not to put yourself into a position of allowing these things to basically overburden you. Because with this area, you're going to have some up and downs. And also some past experiences can fuck you over. You could be basically taking on too many responsibilities when it comes to family, doing too much, feel me? To the point where you might exhaust yourself out and you won't build your own boundaries. You need to work more on yourself, have your own dignity, and try not to put too much emphasis on family, and you'll be out in this position. Also, you need to take power and control over your household, your privacy, and your family, feel me? Or you may have to get these motherfuckers about your space, or transform a routine that you're stuck into, feel me? And you'll be out. Now, if you have Capricorn in the 5th house, you're gonna be basically putting too much heavy emphasis on focusing on deep creativity, expressions, and the way you basically put yourself out there in the public arena on center stage. Try not to put yourself into a positioning of looking at things in the wrong perspective. For me, with this position, you're gonna be going real extreme with your personality and the way you put yourself out there. You're gonna be basically dealing with some misunderstandings, some heavy influences, and of course a whole lot of responsibilities. People, places, and things might be blocking you. You may be having experiences with your family that may basically be blocking you, or creativity of endeavors may be basically blocking you from your personal past. For me, just like into a position where you want to basically play good on the football team, but you got to do homework and got to do this. For me, you're going to basically be experiencing some obstacles in these areas when it comes to their creativity. But if you could work truly, deeply, and hardly on yourself and transform internally and basically just go out there and express yourself, you'll be out in this area. But you need to basically focus on power and control when it comes to your creativity. If you have Capricorn in the 6th house, you're going to be basically paying too much attention towards your routine, your health, and things that you do on a day-to-day basis. See, also, you're going to be experiencing some good things and some bad things based on the seeds you planted. When the moon goes into when the moon was in Sagittarius, based upon the seeds you planted, these are the areas that you're going to be experiencing some up haven or some lower havens. Now you can put yourself into a position of focusing on the right things and having the gift to take power and control over your daily routine, and to have the gift to focus on things that's going to basically truly matters and build you up. Now, if you're basically just too surface level and, of course, stuck into a routine pattern, you're going to get lazy in these areas, which means that everything that you have can pretty much, you can lose yourself in this area. So try to aim high, feel me? Try to aim high in this area because you can really lose yourself, and you don't want to basically lose yourself, feel me? You're going to have some ups and downs, though. Try not to get too stuck into a routine or rut at this area. For me, you need to also take power and control of your health too. You'll be experiencing some health issues. Now, also, if you have Capricorn in the 7th house, you're going to be basically going through extreme conflict in these areas when it comes to relationships, relating your relatability to individuals. And of course, you can put yourself into a situation. You ever seen that movie Addiction? When that lady was basically, she missed out opportunities when it came to businesses, meeting other individuals and shit like that. She missed all these opportunities, for me, because she was going around basically in her pleasures. Her man wasn't satisfying her in these certain areas. So if a man was basically not satisfying her in these areas, yeah, you could be addicted in a circumstance situation. Try not to be an addicted at this perspective, for me, because you could basically be going to the extremes, and you don't want to basically be having these areas play out these perspectives. Also, you could be missing on things that really truly matters when it comes to your own personality. Focus more on yourself. Focus more on building your own self. Because if you're good within yourself, you'll be good externally with others and individuals that you can basically collect and connive with. Feel me? But if you can't collect with these individuals, then you're basically neglecting yourself and basically chasing the wrong things, chasing too many pleasures and desires. Feel me? You need to act opposite. Learn how to be a little bit more selfish, for me. Learn how to be a little bit more passionate towards what you're basically trying to strive for, and not put yourself into a low vibrational ass perspective on how you want to basically be seen with other individuals. Yeah, take notes. Take notes on that for me. And yeah, you're gonna have some you could really pretty much put yourself into a position where you may have trust issues with individuals. Individuals might be unworthy because you basically maybe bending over backwards for too many individuals, and they basically can take your kindness for weakness. Don't allow that. I mean, take charge over yourself and you'll be alright. Also, if you have Capricorn in the 8th house, feel me? This is an opportunity, a sextile right here in this positioning. You're gonna have the opportunities to go basically take full power and control and focus on the ways you're very desirable, passionate, and of course having a deep desire and a motive when it becomes to working and basically building yourself. Try to work behind the scenes. Don't tell everybody your hand. Don't tell everybody your business in this perspective for me, and everything will basically work out into your favors for me. But you're going to be going to the extremes when it comes to your desires, which are known for behind the scenes. And of course, if you can put yourself into a position of not allowing too many people and focus more on yourself and build more on yourself and be more practical, you can basically take these essences and of course take this sextile, this opportunity to make sure that you're in a better position in your life. Also, if you have Capricorn in the 9th house, feel me? You're gonna be basically experiencing some ups and downs too. You may have to make some adjustments in these areas when it comes to your experiences, when it comes to the things that you're focusing on in your experiences, and the things that you need to take power and control over in your experiences. Feel me? Also, you know that this house kind of falls here when it hits Capricorn. When Capricorn hits this house, it falls here. So that means you may have to work very hard when it comes to your experiences, what you do on a day-to-day basis, and how you get from one area from point A to point B. Feel me? You need to work real hard in these areas. Feel me? That's the only way you can basically feel rejuvenated. Feel me? Also, use your imagination, use your visions, and of course, have a real vision. Feel me? And if you can basically have a area where you can basically connect with individuals and not try to leave this world and be in other illusions, you gotta learn how to basically put the pieces together, because the way you may come across when it comes to your experiences, it may be far outreach for other individuals to may not understand you. So try to come down a little bit for me. Do some inner work for me. And of course, you'll be out in these areas. Try to develop a routine, a pattern where you can basically focus and fixate yourself in the right spectrums, and you won't have no lopsided issues. If you have Capricorn in the 10th house, you're gonna have extreme focus on your career, your status, and your responsibilities. Now you can go to a transformation stage of uplifting yourself or bringing yourself down. Try not to feed into guilt or worry. And of course, you can put yourself into a position where you may experience others getting off with their careers, but you may have to work very hard to basically obtain yours, because you can go to the extremes in these areas, and you can fuck up with your health. So try to be careful. You can fuck up a bone, break a bone, some shit like that, God forbid. But of course, you can experience some shit in these areas, so try to be very careful. Feel me? And also try not to feed into no guilt. I mean, also watch for haters and guilt trips. These things can basically develop underneath the surface. If you can pretty much bring more love, more nurturing, more care in these areas, you'll be all right. Now, if you have, also you're going to be experiencing the full moon scenario in these areas too, because you may overindulge, whether it's good or bad. It depends on the seeds you planted when the shit was in Sagittarius. Also, if you got Capricorn in the 11th house, you're basically going to be needing an approachable, fixated manner when it comes to paying attention to the your groups and people, places, things that you connect to out there in the public arena. Also, what you need to basically do, take responsibilities when it comes to being down to earth and practical and stable. Feel me? You need to basically take center stage, because the individuals that you may be basically bringing around, you be like, no new friends. Feel me? Try not to bring no new individuals around during this time. Feel me? Especially when the moon waxing. Feel me? Because you need to be waxing towards people, places, things that you basically truly connect with and you can basically feel comfortable around. You just bringing new individuals around shit, feel me? You might bring the wrong individual around the wrong place, wrong time, feel me? So try not to do that. Take pride in what you basically do when it comes to your groupmanships. Also, if you have Capricorn in the 12th house, you're going to have opportunities to focus on your dreams, your fantasies, and illusions. Try not to basically think about the past, feel me? Focus on faith, focus on belief, focus on creativity, and of course, use your gifts. You may have too many gifts, but of course, if you can find the right gift, question yourself, have some solitude, and reflect and basically go within inside yourself, you'll have the answer. That's the energy for today, for tomorrow, actually.